Hello, welcome back. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope this video finds you well. In today's video, I'm going to be forecasting paycheck number 2 for the month of January. If that's something you are interested in watching, then please stick around. Hi there, my name is JoJo if you're new stopping by here. On this channel, I share with you our family's journey to financial freedom. I post paycheck budget forecasts, weekly check-ins, debt, net worth updates, and sinking funds. Today's video, I'm going to be forecasting paycheck number 2, as I mentioned, for January. But before I get into the forecast, I did want to let you guys know I'm going to be making a couple of changes to how I set up my paycheck budgets. As you can see here, there's these little foiled dollar signs. These are the dates that my husband and I get paid. And I just forecasted this was considered paycheck number 1 for January. And usually how I would forecast the paychecks is they would cover from the Friday that the last paycheck is deposited until the Thursday before the next paycheck is expected to be deposited. And I'm going to be changing that up because of my weekly check-ins are from Thursday to Wednesday. And the first paycheck is actually deposited on Thursdays. So just to simplify that, I'm going to move the paychecks to the Thursday when the first paycheck is deposited. So you'll see the numbers on my budget sheets where the paychecks, like I have listed here, paycheck 2 starting on the 27th, they're going to cover from Thursday that the first paycheck is deposited until Wednesday before the next paycheck is deposited. I'm also going to be changing how I assign bills. I used to only assign bills between the dates that that paycheck was expected to cover, but what I was finding was that each 2 paychecks that are deposited each month, because we're paid every other week, they don't cover the same amount of bills every month. So some months have a heavier bill load than others, and that's what I found for January. In January, we ended up having quite a bit of cash flow, but then I was actually going to be short in February. So what I'm going to do instead is, let's see where I have, there we go. This is where I keep track of all of my bills. And if you see here, this was paycheck 3 for December, and it covered up until electricity and gas. So what I'm going to do, paycheck number 1, the first bill that it ended up covering was the sewer bill. So I'm going to start at the sewer for the month that the paychecks are deposited, and they'll cover all of the bills until electricity and gas until the next month. So like January, paycheck number 1 will start covering bills from the 19th or from the sewer bill. And then it's going to continue with paycheck number 2 covering bills through February until the electricity and gas bill. Even though paycheck 1 is deposited before that bill is due, we're still going to have January paychecks cover up until the electricity and gas bill for the following month. I've already tried filming this because I was fumbling all over myself trying to explain to you guys, and I think I still am, but this is at least a lot less wordy. I definitely have a tendency to over-explain myself and then just trip all over my words anyways. But I have pre-highlighted, so paycheck 2 is going to be in pink, and I've already highlighted all of the bills that it's going to be covering. So that is our calendar view set up. Now we're going to move over to the actual paycheck budget sheet where we can start plugging in numbers. Okay, here we are at the paycheck budget sheet. I've already filled out that this is for paycheck number 2. And the dates it's covering will be from January 27th until February 9th. Income 1 is expected to be deposited on the 27th. So it's deposited on Thursdays. And I estimated, oh my goodness, I struggle with writing 8s, you guys. I don't know why, but I cannot write them pretty for the life of me. But I always underestimate income 1 to be $28.50. Income 2, we're hoping that it will have a raise on it of the $200. If you watched my goals video, I talked about how we want to use that $200 to fund our kids' UTMA accounts for savings, a brokerage account for our kids. I'm still going to leave this at the previous amount that I normally put, which is $11.70. If we take the $28.50 plus the $11.70, we expect to have $4,020 for, oh, you know what? I totally did that wrong. I forgot to write my rollover. Thank goodness for my trusty highlighter. Okay, so I actually have Paycheck 1 over here. And what I do is I roll everything from Paycheck 1 into Paycheck 2 to help cover the bills. And we are expecting to have $21.40.44 rolled over. $21.40.44. Let me write that down before I forget it. Rolled over from Paycheck 1 into Paycheck 2. Okay, here we go. So we have the $28.50 plus the $11.70 plus $21.40.44. Okay. That means we will have $61.60.44 to work with for Paycheck 2. And I have gone ahead and listed all of the bills that I highlighted on the calendar. When you add all of these together, it's $4,554.14 in bills. Here's where I've noted that electricity and gas, because it's due after this paycheck is complete, but so that every paycheck covers a similar amount of bills and isn't overburdened or underburdened, I'm going to be rolling over that amount to the next paycheck. Because what I used to do is it would cover only the bills for the dates it was intended to, and then whatever was left over at the end of Paycheck 2 was thrown at debt. And that is no longer going to work. We'd end up being short some months. Okay, so we're going to try it this way, see how it goes. Next is our estimates for variable expenses. And I did my weekly check-in just recently. I'll leave that video linked in an information card up here. But I've had to kind of move these around quite a bit, but I feel like we finally found our sweet spot with figuring out how cost of things, how much they've changed, and we've had new pets and stuff like that. So I think we're finally in a place where what I am expecting to use is what we are actually spending. It's lasting us the 2 weeks. So for groceries, I budget $325 to last us 2 weeks. Family fun gets $100. Household and pets is $150. Gas is $200. My husband and I each, 80. We each get $80. Miscellaneous is $75. And again, as I mentioned last video, I'm going to be removing this unbudgeted altogether because it's been absorbed by, any unbudgeted expenses get absorbed by this miscellaneous category anyways. So that makes our total variable expenses $1,010. Next is the sinking fund table, and this is just where I track any sinking fund transactions. And this will be for, this is going to actually be for our February sinking funds. And this will be during my week 3 and week 4 check-in. Okay, that is it. Last is this debt table. Let me see. Yeah, I don't really have anything to update over here. If we do, I'm going to leave this right here because technically, based on our bills, we're not throwing any of this cash flow towards debt yet because, again, it's getting all rolled over into Paycheck 2. We don't have a HELOC payment or any debt payments for our bills. But when I do get extra money, that money is automatically thrown at debt. So I'm going to leave this as is in case we get extra. And I'm not going to update this table just yet until we close out Paycheck 1 next week. So last thing we have to do is figure out how much cash flow we have and how much, and then that is going to be thrown at debt. 61, 60, 44 minus the 4, 554, 14 minus our variable expenses. Okay, so that is more than I thought we would have. That is $596.30. So yeah, that is it. I hope you guys have a beautiful week, and I will see you next week. I usually try to do 2 videos a week. Still figuring out the filming schedule, but there's usually going to be at least 2 videos per week. All right, bye you guys.